All right, so here we go. We're going to do quiz lesson 1.5 and 1.6 walkthrough, which is standard, not standard form, scientific notation to standard form and vice versa, and with some negative exponents or dealing with the negative exponents, applying its rule. So first of all, we want to write this scientific notation number into standard form. So we're going to look at this portion of the scientific notation, the exponent, the 2. So this 2 is positive, so that means we're moving this decimal point 2 places to the right, giving us 903. Okay, the second expression right here, it wants us to write this expression using negative exponents. So that means we need to apply the negative exponent rule, which is the reciprocal will give us the opposite. So we're going to go ahead and flip this end over end. So this is going to be e to the negative 5 over 1, which is just e to the negative 5, fitting what they want, the negative exponent. Okay, number 3 wants us to write this number in scientific notation. So first we want to make sure we want to get a number that is between 1 and 10. So that means the decimal goes right in between. And we then count the number of places it takes to get to that position. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And since this is a decimal number being changed into a scientific notation, the exponent, it's going to be negative, giving us this right here. Okay, number 4, we want to write the exponent using a positive exponent. So again, we're going to use the negative exponent rule, which means take the reciprocal to change the sign of the exponent. So we're going to take the reciprocal, means flipping everything on its end. So y now is going to have a positive exponent, leaving us with y to the third power. Okay, number 5 also wants us to take this expression and write it with a positive exponent. So we need to take the reciprocal. So again, let's put a 1 underneath here so we know we're going to flip it. So we're going to take the 8 and put it down here on the bottom in the denominator, making the exponent positive, and putting the 1 on top, leaving us with an expression with a positive exponent like so. Okay, number 6 wants us to express this with positive exponents as well as to simplify the expression. So there's 2 ways we can do this. The first way, I notice that I have powers being multiplied. So anytime I'm multiplying powers, I keep the base and add the exponents. Okay, so when we're having powers multiplied, they have the same base. We keep that base and add the exponents, thus giving us n to the negative 5. So after simplifying, now we're going to use the negative exponent rule since they want us to express it as a positive. So I'm going to put a 1 underneath here to remind me that when I take the reciprocal, the 1 goes on the top and the n goes to the denominator, changing that negative 5 to a positive 5. So this is our answer. Okay, now we have a scientific notation problem, 5.1 times 10 to the negative 2. We always look here to tell us what to do. It's a negative 2. And that negative 2 tells us we're going to make it into a decimal number, moving our decimal to the left 2 times. 1, 2 times right there. And we fill in that spot with a 0, giving us the number 0.051. Or we can say 0.051. Either way is correct. Okay, so we have 69,900,000 in standard form. We want to write it in scientific notation. So first of all, we need to make sure that we get a number that is between 1 and 10. So that means the decimal was way over here, and we're going to move it in between the 6 and the. Next, we're going to count the number of spaces it took to move the decimal from this position to this position over here. So we went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 places over there. And since it's a big number or that was changed to scientific notation, we leave it as a positive 7. So here we go. We got 6.99 times 10 to the 7th as the scientific notation of this. Okay, now we have an expression with powers being divided, and powers with the same base being divided tells us the rule is that we keep the base and subtract the exponent. So we have a 3 minus a negative 1. Okay, and so to do that, we do the minus a negative becomes plus a positive, because that's the rule of subtraction. Is subtracting a number is the same thing as adding its opposite. So we end up with w to the 5th power, and they want it with positive exponents, so this is our final answer. Okay, and our final problem for the quiz is 1 over 64, which they want us writing using a negative exponent. So first, we need to have some exponents. We have 1 over 64, so we got to think, what base can we have, or what number gives us 64? What number times itself gives us 64? And it's 8. We know that 8 times 8 equals 64. And then we can change that into an exponent, because 8 times 8 is the same thing as 1 over 8 squared. And then finally, we're going to use our rule, our negative exponent rule, to give us a negative exponent. So the 8 comes up to the top, changing the exponent to a negative, and put the 1 on the bottom. And our final answer is 8 to the negative 2nd power. All right, so go back through this, make sure you understand each step, and good luck.